This orange beast was a dream for every young teenager in India. Owning a KTM bike made you one of the popular kids in college. KTM meant performance, style, and thrill. But now, the same bike is known as a chapri bike. KTM disrupted the $72 billion Indian motorcycle market when they entered India. But now, the same brand is struggling to survive in the market. Sales are down. There are 265,000 unsold motorcycles in the inventory. KTM was on the edge of bankruptcy. How did a brand that revolutionized the entry-level sports bike segment with KTM Duke 200 and RC 390 and its aggressive image lose its dominance? How did a brand that was king of the Indian streets became known for reckless riding and poor image? And can KTM bounce back, or this is the end of KTM in the Indian market? Making these videos takes a lot of effort, and this video was made possible by Lemon, the investment app. We would like to give a huge shout out to Lemon. KTM was started in 1934 in Austria as a repair shop and a car dealership. KTM built and mass produced their first motorcycle, the R100, in 1953. You see, at that time, every company was focused on building practical vehicles for transportation. But KTM was always focused on building powerful racing machines. KTM dominated the off-road racing segment. By the 1990s, motocross, enduro, and rally competitions were being won by people riding KTM. The brand was known for developing motorcycles that were ready to race. Slowly, KTM started entering the street biking sector and the legendary Duke series were born. In 2000s, KTM had become Europe's leading high-performance motorcycle manufacturer. After KTM's success in the Europe and the American market, KTM wanted to enter the growing market of India. Entering India and market revolution. India has a huge number of young population, and the growing middle class with disposable income was the perfect audience for the brand. But there was a big problem. KTM could not enter India on its own. To enter the Indian market, KTM needed someone who understood the market very well. That's where Bajaj came in. They had already invested and bought a 14.5% stake in KTM back in 2007 because they wanted to expand their operations to develop markets like Europe, US, and Australia. So, Bajaj became KTM's manufacturer partner in India. Bajaj was a manufacturing giant and an expert in cost-effective manufacturing, and KTM had the racing technology. This partnership benefited both the companies. So, in 2012, KTM entered India and launched the Duke 200 for just 1.18 lakhs. It was an instant hit among youngsters because of its low cost and raw performance. In the first year itself, KTM sold around 8,500 units of Duke 200. Bajaj's huge dealer network helped KTM reach the tier 2 and 3 cities as well. In the next 2 years, KTM launched Duke 390, RC 200 and RC 390. They created a new segment of bikes that were never seen before in India. You see, before KTM entered India, we had two options: the basic commuter bikes under 1 lakh or the premium bikes which were over 3 lakhs and mostly out of budget. KTM created a mid-range performance segment with their 400cc single-cylinder engine. Suddenly, every college student dreamed of buying a KTM. But it was not just KTM who benefited from this. Because of the partnership, Bajaj had access to KTM's advanced technology. With this technology, Bajaj created high-performance bikes like the Pulsar NS200, RS200 and Dominar 400. With KTM, India's street racing scene also exploded, and Instagram, YouTube were filled with racing and stunt videos of riders with KTM bikes, which made the brand more cool. But this is the exact reason where problems started. Problems and change in market perception. Seeing all these stunt videos, the younger, inexperienced riders started performing dangerous stunts. News reports of accidents involving KTM bikes became common. Reckless riding, stunts on public roads, and aggressive behavior by some KTM riders created a negative image for the bike, and the brand was labeled as chapri. And as more people bought KTMs, the brand lost its exclusivity. KTM bikes were being seen at every corner, and when the company increased the production to meet the demand, quality issues started. The 400cc engine started producing a lot of heating issues. KTM riders started having reliability and durability problems because of the build quality and electronic parts. People had high expectations from KTM, and these issues started damaging the brand. Also, the maintenance and service cost of KTM bikes was much more expensive than the competitors. Riders started moving towards other brands. The Indian consumers became more sophisticated and started preferring international and more premium bikes like BMW, Kawasaki, and Yamaha's high-performance bikes. This perception shift and problems kept building on, and the demand for KTM bikes went down. But the company kept on producing the motorcycle at the same speed. At one point, KTM had around 265,000 bikes unsold in their warehouse. Years of aggressive expansion and acquisition put KTM in a heavy debt. And when the sales slowed down, KTM struggled with the repayment and running their operations. Many showrooms had to be shut down. Things got so bad that KTM had to file for bankruptcy. Bajaj's rescue investment and the future. Things were not looking good. KTM was about to go out of business. So, Bajaj decided to invest more money into KTM to save the company. Bajaj invested 7,200 crores and took control of the Austrian motorcycle brand. This investment helped KTM to stay in the market and restart its production. With the majority ownership, Bajaj now controls both the manufacturing and strategic direction of KTM globally. With a stable financial backing from Bajaj, KTM is now focusing on the operations and R&D. The brand is working on developing new models and technology to solve the previous issues customers were facing. KTM has discontinued the entry-level 125cc motorcycles, because of which their image started to downgrade. KTM is focusing on more premium segment of the market. Under the guidance of Bajaj, KTM is also planning to expand into other developing markets. KTM's MotoGP and rally racing programs also continue, preserving the brand's image. The Indian motorcycle market has evolved since 2012. The real question is whether KTM will recapture the magic that made it India's dream bike for youngsters, or whether it will remain a cautionary tale about how success can turn into failure. What do you think? Can KTM bounce back and reclaim its position as India's coolest motorcycle brand, or has the damage been done permanently? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more such content. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.